Good morning, Flosstube. Hi, it's Amy from Little Farm Quilts. It is Sunday, June 21st. It is Father's Day, so if any of you watching me are fathers out there, happy Dad's Day. I'm now going to go to my YouTube channel so I can figure out exactly what Flosstube this is. So bear with me for a second. I feel like I say this all the time, but I feel like I'm a hot mess. I think I feel like that every time I do a Flosstube. And you have me wet hair and all today. This is Flosstube number 26. So it's surprising that I'm that far, I guess. I'm sorry, it's been a hot minute, right? I fully intended to do a Flosstube last week. Through the course of the week and some things going on, I got to Saturday and I had mentally, I just didn't have it in me. Normally I really like getting on Flosstube and feeling like I'm chatting with everybody for a little bit, but last week I kind of just needed to be by myself and rest, I guess, mentally rest. So that's that. I'm sorry about that. Then I fully intended to record one Friday night so that I could upload it yesterday, because yesterday was really busy for us. It did not happen for many reasons, and which I'll get into for a short life update in a second. But anyway, here we are. It's Sunday. I have one. Hair's wet, so I'm going to constantly be doing this and getting it out of my face. It is going to be hotter than Hades here today. We are going to be in the pool. We have people coming for a picnic at 1 o'clock. So my hope is to record this video and get it up on the channel before everybody starts arriving for the picnic. I was up early this morning stitching, did a little bit of knitting. Hubby and I went out to check on our bees, so we did some work there. And found out that we have 4 beehives out there. We have one that was more aggressive than the others, and it looks like half of that hive has left. So my hope is that the nasty part of that hive is gone, and we have only the good part left. The hope is that they raise up their queen, and they survive. If not, then it is what it is. 4 hives is more than enough for me to manage, and I don't want a whole bee yard full of hives. So we're just going to let nature take its course on that one. We have no honey yet. Well, we have honey out there yet, not enough to be taking boxes off. We still have 4 large jars of honey from last year's haul, so we're good there. I think if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I'm a nurse, and I've been managing a team of nurses through the pandemic. And I think what I may not have mentioned was the company that I work for was also acquired last October by a different company. And there's been some changes that come with that. All in all, it all converged at one time, and times have been kind of stressful. So that's why I got to a point on a couple weeks ago where I just didn't feel I had any energy in me to do a Flosstube. Yeah, it's just a lot sometimes, So I think everybody needs a break. Everybody needs to recognize when they need a break, and I needed a break. So I took it. I had a day when I spent it with my son. He was up from Houston. We watched movies. I stitched. We talked. And it was a nice, relaxing day, so I'm very thankful for that. Thanks for letting me take the break. Thanks for touching base. Many of you sent me messages wanting me to get back to Flosstube, inquiring if I was okay. I am totally fine. Just life sometimes has tips and turns, and sometimes you just have to take a break. So, it's hot here today. I think I said that already. It's already hot. Out in the bee yard, we were sweating to beat the band. Yeah, but welcome to my channel. If you've been watching me for a while, thanks for sticking with me. If you are new, thanks for joining me today. Welcome. This is a Flosstube. I generally talk about cross-stitching, sewing, and knitting. And that's all I have today. I actually usually talk about them in that order. So if you only want the cross-stitching, that's right at the top. Sewing is usually in the middle, and knitting brings up the rear. So I try to keep it like that, so if you're not interested in one of those things, you can just kind of peace out. No skin off my back. It's all good. So I came out of Mania with 31 starts, and I actually think I had 32 starts, which is fine. I'm totally good with starting all the things, and I've started more since Mania. Because I firmly believe that I craft for stress relief, I craft because I enjoy it, I craft for a lot of reasons that are all healthy. So I will stitch all the things. If I have 31, 40 whips, I'm good with that. But what I have done is chosen 5 to concentrate on for now. And if I change my mind, I change my mind. So we'll go through those first. I think 2 of them are new to you starts. Do I have 5 of them here? Yes, I do. Okay. So let's start with my oldest whip. I have put some stitches in here. This is my 20+ year old whip. It is called Lost No More. I should have had these all out and ready. Sorry. Lost No More. It's a gold collection dimensions kit. It has seen better days, as you can see. I'm putting in more stitches. I'm not going to say daily because that would be a lie. But I will say a couple times a week I pick it up and I put some stitches. I'm trying to work myself. So back in the day, I was a center starter. I am a right upper corner starter now. So what I'm trying to do here, I put stitches in, is try to work to this top right corner so that I can work down from there. That is my preference always. Today is Dad's Day. It is Sunday. Typically I try to pick it up at some point on a Sunday and put some stitches in it because it makes sense, doesn't it? Stitch on Jesus on a Sunday. Yeah. So that's where I am. I think if it's 20 or 30 stitches that go in a week or a day, a few times a week, then that's probably a lot. But it's better than nothing, right? So that's the oldest whip. He will probably get some more stitches today, and he'll get some love. The second whip that I concentrated on this week, and it was because release 10 came out, is the Bloomtopia Stitch Along. I haven't finished release 10, but I'm going to show up where I am on it. There's 2 more releases. There's release 11 and 12. 11 fills this bottom center space right here. This was release 10. And then release 12 is the border that goes around. I am not a huge fan of the border. So I sat here kind of looking at this last week thinking, do I want to put a different border on it, or do I just want to border it with something like Rick Rack or something like that? I'm going to go with something like the Rick Rack option. So the next release that releases on July 1st, I will be able to finish this. So this is how far I got with release 10 right here. It has a few stitches in between all of these triangles, and I will have that done. But isn't it? I like it. I like it a lot. Looks a little washed out there. Let's see if I can make this there. Even I looked washed out. Hopefully that's better. There. That looks much better. Let's see if it'll focus. But I like it. I think what I may do with this is finish it, and I have a metal, what do you call them? Stand upstairs on my dining room table. I may just flat finish it and then just put it on that stand because it's pretty. I like it. So that was one of my concentrated whips this week because the release came out on the 15th. It was last week. So, still don't have it done, but it is what it is. So, the other whip that's already familiar to you, the other three I'm going to show you are actually, I have 6 things I'm showing you, 3 of which are new starts that I don't think that you know I started. You'll have to remind me in your comments because honestly, I don't keep notes on my shows every week, so yeah. You know me. Just kind of fly by the seat of my pants, which is fine. The other one that I worked on this week, let's see if I can find the cover page, is by Huckleberry Farm, by the Blue Flower. I absolutely love this one. My goal is to get this done sooner rather than later and get it framed and up in my house. So I am working on it. I am stitching this on, it is 18 count Ada, and I shale by Picture This Plus. Does that sound familiar? I was not able to get the 36 count linen, so I did get the 18 count Ada. And what did I get done here? Oh, I got thread in the way. Hold on. I'll give you I think the other floss tubers really have more together than I do. They have their stuff ironed and everything's all good, but so this I got more of the vine work done. Let's see if I can get this closer so you can see. I have to move my cup before I spill it everywhere. I might have to grab that again. I got some of the white flowers in. I got the bird. I still think this might be a little too bright. Hold on. Let's see if we can do that. Yeah, that's better. I got some of the mountain range in there. The bird up there. Some of these white flowers. And I will probably work on that in the next couple of days too. Then I hit a squirrel. And I do that from time to time. I think it was because I had a rough week, so I decided to, on Saturday, I was going to do a self-care new start. Sorry, my hair's hanging in my eyes, because now it's drying. This is why it's always up. So I did a self-care new start, and I decided, I had been eyeing something from Lindy Stitches for a while. Lindy Stitches seems to be my new obsession, which I'm sure she'll be happy to hear that. I started Emily's House by Lindy Stitches, and my deal with this one was I wanted to use what was in my stash. I didn't want to have to order floss for this, so I am using my own colors, whether it be silk. Some are Classic Colorworks, some are Color and Cotton, some are Weeks Dye Works. But for the flowers, you see those flowers around the border, I'm using a silk. And I'm very happy with how it's coming out. I'm actually using, let's see if I can find it here. I'm using a Belle Soie, and it's called Peacock for those flowers. I'm also going to use a Belle Soie for the house. I'm going to use Hair Crown, which is this color, which I think will be super cute. So let me show you. I stitched on this most of the day on Saturday while I watched movies with my son and chatted with him. So there was a little bit of stitching, a little bit of movie time. You know how that goes. So this is what I've gotten done on that. And this is on, oops, I just dropped a box. Hold on, I gotta get that. Oh, please. I kinda need that box. Let's get it up here and I'll just have it. See, you guys are getting all sorts of stuff today. Let's get this hair out of my face. Anyway, I'm stitching this on, I think I put it in here, the tag, yep. 36 count run by Picture This Plus. And totally liking it. So I think this is the first project that I have ever done on 36 count, 1 thread over 2. And I absolutely love stitching on 36 count, 1 thread over 2. Actually, I would venture to say that is my jam. I really, really am enjoying that stitch immensely. I just like it. I do have to use a magnifier on 36 count. As you guys know, I have bad eyes. So today I have my contacts in because it's a pool day. But even with my contacts in and with my readers on, I might be able to see this in good lighting, like maybe out on my deck in the sunlight. Yes, I could see it outside. I can see it down here. But at nighttime when your eyes are tired, I have a magnifying light. That's what I use. And this has just been super fun to stitch. Thank you, Stephanie, from Lindy Stitches, for such a great pattern. I have another one of her patterns in my cart that I'm trying to not buy yet, because then I will want to start that, because I'm in the mood to start all of the things right now. And I just simply, I need to see some progress and get something done. So that was that. Another new start I had was, and this is, I'm stitching along with a friend and my mom. We decided to start these Deck the Halls by Blackberry Designs, these strawberries. Our hope is that if we can get one stitched a month, we can finish them off and have them done for Christmas. We started with on the first day of Christmas, and that is this one right here. And that's the strawberry. Whoops, let me go the right way. Right there. That's the strawberry. So, again, I want to stitch this one out of my stash, although I did get some fabric in from 123 Stitch that will go in the haul segment. I am starting this on 36 count doubloon, which is the called for by Picture This Plus. This is also 1 thread over 2, and I absolutely love it, and I'm sorry it's all wrinkled. And I picked my own color conversion because I, again, want to use what's in my stash. So, and that's, I was hoping to get that finished this weekend. We'll see. I stitched on it for a while this morning. We have a picnic today. We'll see how it goes, whether I get any more stitching in or not. But that's that. So, the next start I want to show you, I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and I blame Stephanie Webb for Lindy Stitches. She enabled me in a big way. Ever since I found her Flosstube, which you're going to hear the dogs bark now, apparently. Somebody's here. She was working on a chatelaine, and I have admired that chatelaine, Mushroom and Fern Mandala, for a long time. And because I'm newly returned to cross stitch, like in the last year and a half or so, I really felt like it was kind of outside of my expertise. And anyway, I changed my mind. So I bought a chatelaine designed by Martina Rosenberg. It's the Mushroom and Fern Mandala, and this is it. I am committed to putting some stitches, even if it's only 5 or 10, in this chatelaine every day. I'm still acquiring some of the floss, some of the silks I cannot find anywhere, so I have to find suitable substitutes. I have to acquire the beads, but I did have enough floss. Actually, this box is, hubby, this box is full of floss that I've acquired for this project. So you see all that? Okay. So, I started it. I am stitching it on 28 count. I think it's Witchelt Natural 28 count. And it's on my scroll rods. And this, I don't even know how to show this. This is my start. Let's see if I can get this up here for you to see. And I am loving it. So I originally started with a complete DMC conversion on this. Let's see if my camera will focus back. Come on. See if I can get it to focus. let's see. Knock over my camera, my mic. There we go. So it refocused. Did it focus on the shadowing? Couldn't even tell. So let's try this again. Is it going to focus on the shadowing? Let's do it this way. That is it. That is it. It's beautiful. The colors are beautiful. I originally started it on a white 36 count. I think it was mallow 36 count with a DMC conversion because I thought getting the silks was going to be too well, it's pricey. You know, you have to make a commitment when you're talking a box full of silks and cottons. So I didn't like the DMC conversion at all. As a matter of fact, I actually talked it over with my husband, and what I had planned for this chatelaine as far as framing and where it was going to go in my house, and he actually told me, I think you need, if you're going to spend this time stitching something, you need to get the threads that are going to make it look the way you fell in love with it. Otherwise, you're not going to like stitching it. So I did, and I'm absolutely loving stitching on it now. I have a stand frame upstairs that I acquired, a floor frame. It goes on that exclusively, and I stitch on it every day. So I'm totally enjoying that. As you know, I have all these whips from Mania, so I'm going to be flipping between them and hopefully not starting anything new. The project that I was going to work on through Jolly July, I already have started. It's already in my whips, and it was started last year. So that's not a new start. So yeah. But that's all I have for stitching. I think that's enough, right? That's 22 minutes of just cross stitch. And I've done so many other things this week. So Oscar, my cat, has gotten down here. He may jump up on this desk just to give you fair warning. But that's my stitching so far this week. I have done some sewing, and I have a Sweetwater box here. But I wanted to go through some of my cross stitch haul. So some of my cross stitch haul, Oscar, stop it. I got some fabric from 123 Stitch, and I have to say they've been shipping much better now, so it must be everything's clearing up. I got some 36 count putty. These are all for the strawberries. I got 36 count Heartland Edinburgh linen. I got 36 count Sanguine by Weeks Dye Works. The putty was also from Weeks Dye Works, as I'm sure you guys know. This is Picture This Plus 36 count Ale. And this is 36 count Winter Moon Edinburgh linen. So I got that. Those are for the strawberries. And all the floss I got. I can't possibly show you everything I got as far as floss. I did get a ton of silks. I got some Glorianas. I got some water lilies. I've got some NPIs in here. I've got some dinky dye. These, I forget what they're called. Silk lame braid. There's a lot of things in here. I still need the beads, so there you go. Right now I'm stitching with Florinel Silk Peacock Blue, and I just am absolutely loving that. See that? Nice. Okay, let's see if we can get my hair out of my face. I will never do a floss tube with my hair down again. It's crazy pants. Okay, so we're going to move on to sewing. I did get my block of the month quilt. You see it wadded up behind my shoulder. Together, and the binding's on. All I have to do is, and let me step off the stool here for a second. The binding is sewn on, and all I have to do is sew down the binding. So it's hard for me to get a full view. That's kind of what it is. The binding is this cute, and that's what came in the finishing kit. I like a binding that has a little bit of print on it. So that's all set. And all I have to do is sit down some night and put a couple lengths of thread in that. I get a quarterly box from Sweetwater, so I've canceled a lot of my subscriptions. I actually forgot about this one because it only comes every quarter, but I actually really, really like it. And it comes well packaged, and then you get a little greeting in there, and then you get a little flash of what's coming in September, which is nice. They sent a treat. They sent some fat quarters of their Christmas card fabric. They sent a little panel. Sent some labels. Here comes Oscar. You guys are going to see him on film. There's some beads to do one of the projects, and here he comes. See his head? And they sent me a charm pack. And they sent, come on, buddy. He's going to join my Flosstube. Hi. Can you say hi? Can you put your head up so they can see you? There you go. Say hi. Oscar's a troublemaker. So all of these projects that you see are ones that we can make on that kit. And now I can't see the screen because although you can't see Oscar, he is right in front of my computer screen. So this penny right here, this cloth container right here, that's a tote bag made with that. That's a little tote bag, and then a little table topper. Oscar is a troublemaker, but we love him. I'm not generally a cat person. We like cats because they catch mice. My youngest daughter, Courtney, brought Oscar to our house, and she had found him in the street, and he was teeny. Well, then Courtney moved to California and left Oscar with us. We took him to the vet to inquire about getting him fixed and some other stuff. He had a few issues. He had mites, fleas, all this stuff. Well, $500 later, he was clean as a whistle and fixed. But my daughter and her boyfriend had named him Frank. And we decided to rename him Oscar because really he is like he's just trying to climb in that box now that's full of stuff. He is a troublemaker. And we just feel like he is an Oscar. So we named him Oscar. Well, then my daughter and Jack, her boyfriend, come home and they keep calling him Frank. And I keep telling them they can buy naming rights for $500. Other than that, he is Oscar. But he's a cute boy, as you can see. And he just loves his people. And like I said, I'm not generally a cat person. But he's awesome. Are you going to get out of my way now, Oscar? They don't want to see your butt. You need to lay down, maybe? Okay, let's get him to lay down. There we go. So that's all I have for the sewing part. I mean, I have been working on a ton of stuff. I have a t-shirt quilt in the mix. I finished a baby quilt this week for somebody. I have a 2019 mystery quilt frolic that a friend of mine made that's on my long arm right now. So that part of my shop is very busy. And as soon as we get days where the weather seems better to be inside, that's exactly what I'll be working on. But yeah, it's been busy. And here he comes because I stopped petting him. See, he's just going to be a pill. Knitting wise, you guys know I've been teaching myself how to knit. So I wanted to knit two things. I have a scarf in process for my daughter, for one of my daughters. And then I wanted to teach myself how to knit a blanket, and I wanted to teach myself how to knit socks. So let's move this over here. So I was enabled by X-Stitch MD, Shiloh. She is working on this Hue Shift Afghan. This pattern is available at Knit Picks. It's a low price pattern. Now keep in mind I'm brand new to knitting, so don't critique my stuff. See, I'm playing with the quilt back here. It's a good thing that's my quilt, huh? Go ahead. He's going to be funny. You guys can watch him for the rest of the video, So I've been working on that. Don't critique too much. There's errors in here, and I know they are, but I'm using it as a learning experience, and I think I'm doing pretty good. So here's where I am. This has worked like from this up. Can you guys see the color change? You guys can't even see. Now I'm going to have to brighten this up, I think, a little bit, so you can see he laid down on that quilt. See him back there? So here's the Afghan. See that you can see the color changes now. Okay, and it's worked in quadrants. And I think it's going pretty well. I'm going to work on this again probably tonight. I'm enjoying it. It's not perfect, but I'm definitely having fun with it. It's worked in quadrants, so each quadrant has 25 blocks, and they're all joined together. So here comes another animal. I think that is Molly. Hi, Mama. I guess I've been down here too long when all the animals start coming down. And the other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to learn how to knit socks. So I had started them toe up with Cece Almond. She's at, I forget her Instagram, with one of her patterns, and she's on Ravelry. And I didn't like how they were turning out. And I don't think there's anything wrong with her pattern. I think it's just how my brain works and how I was knitting them. So then I ended up taking Caroline from Off the Grid, her suggestion, and I'm just showing the top. And I also like her heels better than the heel on that other pattern. It's called Super Simple Cuff Down Socks. So I'm trying that one. I started that last night, actually, with a long tail cast on, which is something that was new to me as well. Let me get this kind of knot. And this is where I am. I'm on the cuff. I have to get 2 inches of the cuff, and then I can go on to the stocking nut stitch. So I will keep you posted, but I think they're looking much better. Much better. And I don't know if it's because of the cuff, and maybe by the time I had gotten to the cuff on the other one, I would have felt more comfortable, but that was a long way to go of stitching and not really, I don't know. So I just tried this because my brain, everybody's brain works different. Do what works for you, because if you don't enjoy crafting, there's really no sense in doing it, right? Okay, guys, I think that's it. You guys know you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and you can find me here on YouTube generally every week. We are in summertime. There's a lot of life going on for us over the next couple of months, so they may go to every 2 weeks. But thanks for joining. I appreciate it. This video is going to go up without an edit, so I apologize for that, but I did want to get it up for you. I've had several people reach out to me to make sure I'm okay. I'm good. I'm good. There just honestly is not enough hours in the day to do everything you want, and sometimes you have to prioritize what's truly important over my desire to do a Flosstube. And that's really what it came down to. I wanted to spend time with my son. And it did this mama's heart good. I think it did his heart good. And we'll just go from there, okay? So you all have a great day. Have a happy Daddy's Day. And I'll see you all soon. Craft and do something for your mental health. And just enjoy life.